Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
Are you purposely doing the tinge of green all the way until you get a trail
yes,
Doomsday?
yes. Well, I'm still excited. I want it to. I want it to be good. I'm hoping, wishing, praying.
Yeah. All right.
None of that stuff really works, but we'll see. I'm playing around with colors. Give the people something to look at.
Gross. So interestingly enough, the talk is that the trailer for Doomsday is in front of Avatar 3.
Yeah, well, I'll never see it. I'll never see it in theaters.
I'll see it online. It's fine.
Right. Get out of here. Those things are gross looking. Those things are gross looking.
Look, just because they use their dicks and or vaginas to have sex and or ride animals,
right, and power their means of conveyance. The fuck?
Don't do that.
Weird 9-foot tall blue cat people. Get out of here, man. They're ugly. They're ugly.
Not a fan. All right, so we got plenty to talk about and checked out this week. Not a huge news week, but I think we're gonna have some pretty good checked out conversations actually. So as I talked about last week, I immediately left the recording, went and saw Predator Badlands. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really fun. I think your assessment was dead on, which is this is the most Disney version of Predator, and it works perfectly well. It really does.
It does. Like people online are like using it as a pejorative, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like it follows a formula. It's about the journey, not the destination. Right? Like it's that little baby thing there. Might be a little merchandising opportunity, maybe,
Yep.
Look, man, I'm assuming everyone has seen it, so I'm going to talk about some of the stuff. And bro, the how do you do a 2-on-1 fight with 3 people and make it a 2-on-2 fight? you take one of the people and you have the upper body and the lower body fight each individual person. That was dope, man. Just a pair of legs kicking ass. Yeah, man. Like that is legit something I've never seen before.
Yeah,
that's all I really want out of my action movies, man. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, I thought the action sequences were fun. That aside, which was great. But I thought the action sequences were good. I think the idea of just using a bunch of synthetics and aliens allowed them to really cut loose on like cutting off arms and shit like that, which was pretty brutal. Yeah, I'm here for it. Look, I'm going to challenge the classic or the now sort of solidified rhetoric that people are wrong. Disney didn't ruin Aliens and Predator. They made them better since the original. We have not gotten, since Fox was bought out by Disney, Alien and Predator series have gotten better, period. Now, I know reflexively people go, that's not true. Okay, was Predator, Badlands, Prey, and Killer of Killers better than Predator 2, The Predator, Predators, Alien versus Predator, Alien versus Predator 2? Yes, it is. Prey, all the Dan Trachtenberg movies, again, have come after Disney bought the rights to it. All of them are better than every other Predator movie except for the original.
And look, it could be argued. You can make. I'd listen to an argument that each of those movies is potentially better than the first Predator. I won't agree with you, but I'd listen to an argument. An argument can be made.
The Trachtenberg movies.
Yeah, that the Trachtenberg movies are better than the original Predator. I don't agree with that, but I would hear an argument.
I would listen to an argument that Prey is on par, maybe a better film, right? But again, I still lean it to Predator because it is a quintessential dick flick, right? It just is.
Right.
But when you're talking about, like, I don't even think it is an argument that Prey is the best modern follow-up to that franchise. It just is. Like, because it still fundamentally gets what the movie is supposed to be about, is a person who absolutely should not be able to take this thing on using their resources to do so, right? And Badlands switches on that, which is this predator has, or was it Dex, has everything like as an advantage and is put on this like very savage planet, and then ultimately kind of has to go wild robot and use the natural elements of it to, to kind of, to play on that, which was dope, by the way. That was such a fun, like, ending, like 20 minutes. I just thought that was a blast.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Alien franchise, it's inarguable, right? Like, you could say, I'll give you Alien and Aliens are fantastic, but Romulus, Alien Earth, they've been excellent. Right? Good to excellent, right? Yeah. So stop saying Disney
better than Prometheus and Covenant, right? I've seen Prometheus. I didn't bother with Covenant, but I have seen Prometheus, and I was not impressed.
Right. People hate Aliens. People hate Aliens 3.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. They do not like those movies. Like, yeah, Alien Earth, great. Romulus, pretty good, right? Like, close to. I agree with Terrence. I hated that they put the one line in it. I was like, that's not deserved. Don't do that. But the rest of the movie, totally awesome. I loved it. So yeah, that narrative that Disney has ruined those franchises is just fundamentally not true. Like, it just isn't. And Badlands creates a trilogy of sorts for Dan Trachtenberg that he hit it out of the park. Yeah. Here's my one personal experience with Badlands that was hilarious. Is I go to see it, right? Obviously, I live in a Spanish-speaking country. I go to see it. It is in English. However, it's subtitled in Spanish. But they subtitled all the Yautja parts. So I had to, my Spanish, reading Spanish is it's pretty decent. So I had to be able to understand it in Spanish. I had to translate Yautja to Spanish, then to English in the real time. They didn't have the English. They didn't have the English subtitles.
No, and then the Spanish subtitles.
No. So the entire early 15 minutes, I was like, hold on. Let me see. I had to go into my own fucking mental Rolodex and some of it you can understand from context, obviously. These aren't the smartest movies in the world, right? But I was like, oh shit, wait, did I misunderstand when I bought the ticket? And then I was like, okay, maybe they're just putting the Spanish because that makes sense, but it kind of fucks over the English part. But it was hilarious because then when he finally does meet Elle Fanning, she speaks, and I was like, because at first she speaks a bunch of different languages, and I was like, oh shit, I was like, I bought the wrong thing, and then she speaks in English. I was like, woo, all right, because I can't keep up enough in that amount of dialogue to be able to understand it. But yeah, the first 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, all right, I got it. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. So yeah, for the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh shit, I'm in a world.
That's hilarious.
And then hilarious. And then he Dex barely speaks throughout the rest of the movie. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I know what Lobo means. I got it, right? So that was
that's funny though, because every time he speaks, you don't it's not written in English. That's pretty funny.
It's all French. But
he's like.
Which is just hilarious. So I just thought that was a funny little thing. I was like, God damn it. So I always have to remember that if I'm going to see a movie with aliens speaking, and they're going to be subtitled, I have to understand and you ain't getting no English. You got to figure that shit out. So I just thought that was fun. But that's my own personal experience. That has nothing to do with the actual movie itself. But I did understand it. I understood all of the you're a disappointment to the clan, blah, 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 all that shit. I understood that in the end where he's like, I have my own clan. Oh shit, it's my mom. That type of shit. I found this. Yeah. So yeah, by the way, we haven't seen any Yautja women, which is interesting.
They exist. They exist in other media.
No, but I'm saying on screen. So it'll be interesting if Badlands ends up with a direct sequel. We've quite literally never seen what a Yautja woman looks like. I assume
Yeah.
very similar, but just like their behaviors and stuff, like on this warrior planet, like it's not just like the dudes are like, you got to get out there and fucking kill things. Like the moms are clearly also probably like that. So it's just kind of just from a dynamic perspective, that's interesting. So yeah, I loved Predator Badlands. I can't wait to watch it again with full English subtitling.
Yeah, with full context. Like,
yeah, I got like 97% of it, but that was just funny to me.
That's hilarious. Look, I like the Dan Trachtenberg Predator trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see. Like, I don't want that dude to get pigeonholed into making Predator movies, but at the same time, like if he wants to make a bunch of Predator movies, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for some. He set up an incredible foundation for somebody else to kind of pick this ball up and keep it going. And
yeah.
I'm very curious to see where this franchise, now that it has been not only revived, it was around, then Predator 2 came out and it died, then Predators came out and it was revived, and then the Predator came out and it died again, and then he came back with 3 bangers in a row.
Yep.
And he brought it back to life. He got it through rehab, and he got it up and running again.
Yeah, got a job.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see where this franchise goes from here. Do we follow Deck's story? Would you have the franchise continue with Deck and have him be like a Disney prince or whatever? Right, and Elle Fanning was be the Disney princess. Weird. And or do you do something different?
There is talk. I mean, Prey 2 is happening, which is interesting, and there is talk that they're going to try to. This is all talk, so who knows? That they're going to try to link Badlands to Prey, which is interesting, like because Prey clearly happens a very, very long time ago, right? Like just timeline wise. And, Badlands is clearly in the future, right? Because you have like Wayland Yutani and all that. That's all in the future. Do the Yautja have time travel abilities? I don't know.
They have the as you saw at the end of Killer of Killers, they keep those they keep them preserved, right? And in Killer of Killers, right? Like they kept all of the predator killers, the humans, preserved in chambers or whatever, right? Because at the end of Killer of Killers, there's a stinger where you see Amber Midthunder, her character, and you see Dutch. So they keep those characters on ice. So I guess that's how you can bring Amber Midthunder back.
Yeah, and look, there is talk that Arnold and Trachtenberg have talked about potentially his return. Look, I got to tell you that I'm of two minds of this, okay, what I'm about to tell you. There's part of me that thinks maybe it's you're rolling a big old dice, like trying to bring all of this shit together. Like that's I don't know how well that could work. But there is another part of me that thinks that bringing in an old Arnold Schwarzenegger with a young, this young Native American actress, Midthunder, and then like Dak together in some sort of thing as a team, like there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see it because that's a big fucking dice roll that you could just like, it could be really weird and just totally not work. Or it could totally work, and it's like, this is the type of shit we never thought we would get. Like, that could be kind of dope. Like, Arnold being like, look, I beat this thing, and she's like, all right, nigga, I beat it too. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, right. I was a young girl. Me and my brother kicked this thing's ass. And then Dak is, like, immediately seen as a villain because they've both taken on Predators. But then, like, Elle Fanning's characters are like, actually, he's, like, a good guy. And, like, he's not like them. And then they sort of have to team up against like an evil clan of predators, maybe his mom or some shit like that. Look, all I'm saying is like that could be super fun. You got the one guy who got away right? Or one or two guys, the two
Mhm.
guys that got away in Killer of Killers, you could bring them into live action. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You could have a lot of fun with that type of shit. Could that be too
You know
much?
me.
Here's the thing. Could that be too
I
much? Absolutely.
I think I think that might be a little too much. I think
It
what
is.
this movie really is setting up is all Yautja all the time.
Right.
Yautja on Yautja action.
Yeah.
Um
And I'm fine with it.
and you can have the yeah, that's kind of where I'm hoping this goes. So that you can dig a little deeper this into these creatures as like actual human characters, right? Like
Right.
because we did a good job with Deck, and if you need a human being on screen, you got Elle Fanning's character, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind them continuing, but like let's dig into let's dig into their culture. Let's see what
Fine by me.
let's see what and then you can go buck wild with the violence. I mean, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go because they're aliens with lime green blood.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody.
you can go crazy with the violence. And because the blood's not red, it's okay because we're weird in this country.
Super strange. No, if it was red, I don't know if I could handle it. Like, they just cut that
Right.
synth's head off. It's like, but it
Right.
like jizz fell out of it, so who cares? Like, all right, this is super weird. Yeah, we're a very strange culture. Yeah, look, if it's sort of a Dak, cinematic universe, so to speak, sure. Like, that's fine. It's fine. It'll be interesting. I mean, I really liked Prey a lot. I thought it was just really, really well done, like a very stripped down version of the original story with its own like unique take, right? The Native American thing. So I don't know. I don't know if you continue that, and that's just like its own sort of trilogy, which is fine, by the way. It does not need to connect to Predator Badlands. But if you wanted to, I'd be hard. Like, the nerd in me would be hard pressed to tell you, I don't want to see you give it a try, right? Because sometimes, like, even if you fail, taking a swing at a big idea is actually just kind of dope to see. Like, you didn't quite make it, but like that was a damn good idea, and that's okay too. So I don't know.
Or it could be like Megalopolis and taking a swing at a bad idea. Well, it was something.
That was an idea you had. You should not have ideas anymore. I still want to see that movie. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend.
You should. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I also like myself, so there's that whole speed bump in the way. I also watched Frankenstein. This is the Del Toro movie from 2025. It's on Netflix. Okay. I don't think I care about the big Universal monsters. I just don't think I care about them. Let me rephrase that. I only care about Dracula because I think Dracula is cool. I don't care about Frankenstein. This is a very well-made movie. Dr. Frankenstein is played by Oscar Isaac. He does a great job. He looks great.
I mean,
he's a fucking weirdo. Right, it's Oscar Isaac. The effects are fucking gross, and I mean that in the most positive praise I can. Just heaping of praise, like them showing him coming up with Frankenstein. So they show like as they've got like half dissected body parts, like the waist up of a human being completely open, putting electrodes through it, and it's like moving and shit, and it's all done with practical effects. Phenomenal. Like, it's phenomenal. There's nothing you can take away from Del Toro as far as the style of the movie. I would even argue as far as the storytelling. It's very good. I don't care. And that's not an indictment on him. That's not an indictment on the movie. I don't care about the Universal monsters. And I think it's just because like we've tread this, we're kind of like treading this ground over and over and over again. Now I understand that he kind of has I feel like he's got a grudge to settle with them not giving him the dark universe, not letting him have that. So now he's like, all right, bet. I'm going to make all of them, and I'm going to make them dope as fuck. And it's like...
Yeah, he essentially made the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
And I think
won
won an Oscar for it.
Right? So they're just like, we should have fucking probably given it to him. Yeah, you probably should have, you dummy. Like, what were you thinking? So yeah, it's not bad. Like if you are into the whole Frankenstein thing and you want like these good Universal monster movies, yeah, I think you'll like it. I just personally don't care about this, and I wanted to see it because Del Toro did it, but I just don't. I just don't give a shit about the franchise as it is. And there's like really great actors in it, by the way. Christoph Waltz is in it.
Mia Goth is in it.
Yeah, Mia Goth is in it. Being weird, so like that works for her super well. Yeah. By the way, if you ever want to do a prequel to the aunt from Weapons, make it Mia Goth. Like that makes sense. Like she's perfect for that role. Like she could nail it. So yeah, it's really good. Fucking no notes. It's just that for me personally, I don't give a shit about Frankenstein. That's just
yeah. I hear the movie's very good. I'm kind of like you. I like Guillermo del Toro. I like him better, like in terms of like weirder like filmmakers. Not weird, but like weirder goth type filmmakers. I prefer him over like a Tim Burton. I just think he's I think he's super imaginative, and he gives you something that all his movies are like they're the same, but they're all different, right? And the only reason I'm not watching Frankenstein is one, I'm just not into. I'm not even. It's not even that I'm not into Frankenstein. I'm just not into that era. That Victorian era, no matter what it is, right?
Yeah,
like
that's the
people,
thing for
because it just look, it's for the dumbest reason, right? Not because it's like because but I mean kind of because like they don't have deodorant. That's why they wore them clothes. And it just seems like it stinks. And every time I see something in a set in a Victorian era, I taste it. And it just it's like Agent Smith chastising Morpheus. You just like the smell. Like I can't. I'm always distracted. I always get to like, they don't shave. It's probably a fucking. They got tribbles under their arms. You know what I mean? Like they got it stinks. It stinks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that era. Like it's just it bores me. Like yes, I agree with you. I can smell their stench through my television. But it bores me. Like it's the same reason I don't watch any sort of dramas in that time either. Like I think those Shonda Rhimes things, whatever the fuck that's called, I can't remember. The romance thing that she does in that era.
The Regé-Jean Page thing.
Yeah. I think those are ridiculous. I watched a little bit of it. I was like, okay, I hate all of this, but it's just I don't like that era. Like it's just not interesting to me. So and that's okay. Like that doesn't mean it's bad. Again, it's with Frankenstein. Like it's not bad. It's a very good movie. I don't care about the era, and if you don't care about the era, it's hard to kind of get pulled into it, right? I'm just like, all right, the big giant dresses and the fucking weirdo haircuts. Yeah, I got it. Let's just move on, All right, quickly, because I don't want to get too into this. I do want to have a little bit of a lighter conversation about it. Because we are, just spoiler alert, Inside Baseball, we're gonna have a more in-depth conversation in our preview episode for the next Black on Black Cinema about this movie, because it's not enough to have a full episode because it's not a black film. But I want to have a conversation around this stuff in one battle after another. So let's talk about it. I watched that this past week. One, loved it. Thought it was great. Really, really good movie. Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, is just a phenomenal director. I really, really do. Everyone is good in it. Look, I hate Sean Penn. I do. I think people.
He's obnoxious. He's really obnoxious.
He's an obnoxious person, but I think what people think of Mel Gibson is what Sean Penn really was, right? Like, and not that Mel Gibson isn't a piece of shit. He is. But like, people cancel Mel Gibson for saying some really horrendous shit, which I'm fine with, more than fine with. Sean Penn beat the brakes off of Madonna, dude. And they're just like, let's put him in movies again. And I'm like, why? Like, why? He's fine. Leave him alone. That being said, he's phenomenal in this movie. Like, he's really good. I'm like, I hate Sean Penn. It's like, oh, he died at the end. That's fine.
Yeah, he's not really acting, is he?
Like, he's really being a piece of shit. But he is a very good actor. Like, he's an obnoxious asshole, but he legitimately is a very good actor. So I understand why people want to put him in movies. Look, Mel Gibson, same thing. Before he went crazy, he was a great actor. He's a bit of a dick. So, like, there are other great actors who are not pieces of shit. So we don't have to have these people in it. But that being said, he was very good. Everybody is good in this movie. Everybody is good. DiCaprio, unsurprisingly, is great in this. Tiana Taylor is great in this. I don't remember the young woman's name who plays the daughter. She's great in it.
Infinity is her name.
Chase Infinity? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow, that is okay. It sounds like your parents were revolutionaries. That's amazing. So, like, everyone's good. Del Toro, or not Del Toro. Jesus Christ, drawing a blank.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro. Excuse me. They're all great in this. There is obviously some conversations. Regina Hall, by the way, also great in it. Conversations to be had about sort of the racial issues and things like that, and where people land in this whole revolutionary kind of perspective, which we're going to talk about in a second here. But overall, yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. You said that you had some issues with the movie. You really liked the movie, but some of the issues as far as
it's weird that you can like something but be critical about it.
Nuance.
What strange times we live in. Look, overall, I think this movie is very good. I think as a piece of filmmaking, it's really good. In terms of storytelling, like I'm into it. I'm into 90% of this movie. And as I was talking to you earlier, the end of the movie has one of the best chase scenes, the most tense chase scenes that I've ever seen in a film.
Apologies.
It has one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen in a film, in terms of the way it's shot, in terms of the tension that it raises, in terms of it being somewhat asymmetrical. Like, it's really good, right? And like you said, all the performances, all of them are incredibly well done, to the point that I got in my feelings about this movie. And it made me uncomfortable. Me sitting there with my black wife, and we're watching this and seeing how some of these characters are treated. And look, maybe that's the point, right? I'm willing to, concede that. But I don't know, man. Something about it gave me the ick. And
what is it about it that didn't sit right with you?
I'll have to rewatch it. It's been a while. I'll rewatch it before we talk about it next week. But how certain people are represented, and it's very difficult to kind of talk about without sounding kind of like a dick. but I don't have a problem with the way certain people are treated or represented.
That's funny.
I am, and look, the way the Latino and Latina and Hispanic representation is in this movie, I dig it. I'm with you. I think it's pitch perfect. The way that white folks are shown in this movie as, they're and look, it's all extremes, right? They're all caricatures, right? But particularly the way that Leonardo DiCaprio and his revolutionary ilk in terms of white people, how they are portrayed, I find that incredibly accurate. I find it I
Yeah.
find it that they are very good natured and they are willing to help, but they're just kind of bumbling and stumbling their way through because they've never had to. This is a different type of revolution, right? And they weren't necessarily born in this type of revolution. And I'm not saying white people haven't, I get it. The Irish were slaves and all that. Like, I get it.
Yeah, but this
You
isn't
know,
this is not an
this
Irish revolution. This is just an American.
right, right. This is right, exactly. And he's just kind of bumbling and stumbling along, and it takes these brown people. These brown people are literally carrying this white man through his journey, literally escorting him and carrying him through to his destination, right? And I find that incredibly accurate. I find it hysterical. And on the other side, those are the good white people, and then you got the bad white people, the Sean Penns,
Yeah.
the what do they call themselves? The Christmas something.
Yeah.
I forget what they call themselves. I'll rewatch the movie before we do it. But I do not know what. I've never met members of the Skull and Bones or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
But I imagine that that's what they are like, right?
Mhm.
Bunch of rich old white dudes, trying to manipulate things behind the scenes. I find that accurate. I don't know.
So okay, that's all fair. I want you to get into what is the thing about the black characters that you.
The black characters. I particularly Tiana Taylor's character, but the black revolutionaries, they seem to be as stupid and as bumbling as the white liberal characters represent, in throughout the revolution.
So? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think so. But
I think they are a little more organized. I think they're a little more forceful. I think they are the tip of the spear, right?
As always.
They are the thing. They are the thing that gets this thing going. But at the same time, right? Like, Taylor's character, you're using your sex as a weapon. I get it, but at the same time, like, she was a real piece of shit, man. She was a real piece of shit in that movie.
She was.
And I get it. That's the character. But there was no redemption for her. And some of the other, they call themselves like jungle pussy and shit like that. And I don't know, maybe that's them like taking it back, right? Like how we've reclaimed the N-word or whatever, right? Like maybe that's them. But it just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel like a black person wrote that. Well, it doesn't, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like but it feels and it's worse, right? I don't mind white people writing black characters. Right. It feels like what a white person thinks a black revolutionary is based off of, black exploitation.
That's interesting, right? So, yeah, the prominent black characters in the movie are whatever the jungle pussy, right? Her Regina Hall's character, Wood Harris's character, Tiana Taylor's character, and I think that's kind of it, right? Like those are the only ones as far as I can remember, right? Like Regina Hall's character to me is like she is as true to the fucking thing, like true to the revolution as any character in the movie, right? You don't spend a lot of time with her, but her ending, this is a spoiler for the movie. So just, if you haven't seen it, you should. But like her end of her story to me feels about right. Like it's sad, but it also feels about accurate. I guess like the Tiana Taylor character, because she kind of like dimes people out, trying to save her own ass. Is it in a kind of a maybe a slightly goofy way, so to speak? The goofiness sort of feels like more of on the Sean Penn side. I don't know. I mean, it's like there have been plenty of examples of people in revolutions of all colors that people have sold other people out to save their own ass, right? Like Judah and the Black Messiah is a perfect example of that, right? I think as I'm watching it, and as you and I had talked about, like for me, I think maybe, and I think you kind of hinted at it just now, is it because of who it's written by? Like, because I think if you had these characters, maybe there's just a bit of blackness missing that sort of only shows a bit of their personality. And I think maybe that does slide a little bit maybe into the caricature aspect. I could agree with that. But I think that happens to anybody who's a person of color in this movie. Like, and I think that's just because a white person wrote it. Like, and I think it's just, there's just a fundamental, like, there's an avenue of it that they're just never going to quite get. Right.
So, and maybe that's because I know who wrote it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe that's it. But I guarantee you, if fucking Tyler Perry or somebody wrote this, I'd still have a fucking problem with it.
Yeah, but
I have a problem with a lot of I have a problem with a lot of the way he writes characters.
Right, but I think if let's not use him because like let's pick a competent writer in fairness, right? I think if like a Ryan Coogler had done this, he would have had an aspect to blackness that is a little bit more rich, right? You know what I mean?
It would be very different. Yeah, it would be very different.
So,
and you know, even with
so maybe that's what it's missing. I don't know.
Maybe, and I didn't hate Regina Hall's character. It was, but I agree. It was like, like, yo, we helped pioneer revolution in this country, man. Like we and to have these characters be either sellouts or you know easily defeated in Regina Hall's character's case. He had a whole compound of nuns that were essentially sold, and they're just quickly taken out, very quickly, and it just, I don't know, man. It just seemed a little different, and maybe like you said, maybe this is written for the times that we're living in right now.
I think,
which is why like the Latin representation in this film, I mean they're flawless, and they're well-oiled machines, and they are on top of shit, right? And I'm not mad at that. I don't know, like I can't really. It's difficult for me because I really like this movie, and it's difficult for me to be able to kind of articulate my feelings because they hit me in a way that's like, you know how you can't explain why you love somebody, you just do, right? Like I love Us, right? Yeah, and it's hard. And it's hard for me to, for real. I love Us for real, and it's hard for me to kind of articulate it, but at the same time, I'm not upset that it's there because
the movie's not offensive. It's not
offensive. Right, the movie's not offensive, but maybe it's showing a mirror to me of how some of us act, and it's like, well, I don't want us to act like that.
I got to tell you, I can't tell people how to think about movies or whether they should agree with me or not, unless you're talking about how Disney ruined Alien and Predator. You're wrong. But outside of that, I think that's a big part of it, right? Like I was trying to find out the name. I was frantically Googling while you're talking. Like here's the thing that is like when you're like, I don't want to see us do that. That's fucking sucks, right? And it does. Here's a bit of like real history that kind of ties into that. He returned to the U.S. in 1975 as a born-again Christian. Following the spiritual conversion, he became involved in several religious groups, including the Unification Church, and eventually a registered conservative Republican. Who is that person? Eldridge Cleaver, right? From the fucking Black Panthers. One of the founders of the Black Panthers became a registered Republican in the 1970s, okay? After going through all the shit that they went through, right? And it's like, how, right? How? And it's just like some people's arcs are fucking weird, man. Like they don't make any sense.
Like,
and so you go
like
How the fuck is that true? But that's a true life story. Like, that's a true life
Yeah.
fucking story. 5 years before Reaganomics and all this other shit. And it's not like he was a Republican in like the early 60s where it's like, well, fuck, MLK was a Republican, right? Like, it's different. 1975, the Republican Party is very much the Republican Party as we know it. This guy went from, walking around with fucking berets, leather jackets, and shotguns in California protecting black people to being like, these niggas need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Like, that's how, dude. But like, people have these weird arcs. So I think it's a part of like not wanting to see that, but it's unfortunate. It's true.
It's like Clarence Thomas and Ben Carson. Like,
how did you go from like?
Yeah, like I don't like what the fuck. Like, I see those dudes and I'm like, what the fuck, yo? Like, how did you go from here to here?
Right.
Like,
Van Jones, another one.
Well, then he look,
but in college,
watch him. He even in college, I know there's that clip going around of him, yelling and screaming. He's always been a little performative. He's always had that performance. I mean, he's always had that shit in him, right? Yeah. Just because his hair was longer doesn't mean. I'm talking about people who grew up in being treated like less than what's on the bottom of your fucking shoe.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas and Clarence Thomas, absolutely. And like, abhors racism, but then he's like, so we have to destroy all the things that stop it from being systemically a part of society. And it's like, but that's not the right. Okay. Like, I don't know how you got there. That shit doesn't make any sense.
It's wild, man. It's wild. But
so I do think there might be a part of that. And again, I'm not telling you like that's how you feel because
well, that's look. I came to it right. Like I realized that like that's in me, right? That's a part of it. And if we talk to Terrence, right? And if we talk to Terrence, like Terrence said, he saw it, and I made sure not to say anything until he gave his opinion, right? And he said something to the effect of, "It was a good movie, but my blackness was offended."
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's it.
I understand. Like the thing is, for me, there certainly I certainly didn't like the fact that Tiana Taylor's character was kind of like she did what she did. Like that kind of bothered me. And so I didn't like that. I didn't like that a black woman had to use sex as a weapon. Like that fundamentally turned me off. In that she would also do it with a person who is so reprehensible in that regard. It wasn't like
to do it with someone who's reprehensible, to lie and keep it from her, from the guy that she her husband who she just kind of tolerates. And like she was an incredibly petulant character. And you know what? I'm
not a good mother, which
and a terrible mother, a horrible mother.
Yeah, that's what's
and I'm not used to seeing black women portrayed like that. And it's so jarring. It's so jarring.
It is 100%.
But at the same time, we should see stuff like that, right? We should have black villains. We should have black antagonists. Black people should be able to do everything.
Yeah, and we have to also get over ourselves about that too.
Right, and this is me trying to get over it.
Right. No, and the thing is, I'm not judging. Right, I'm super not judging at all, because I see all of those things, and I'm just like, look, I'll be honest. I don't even remember the movie or what it was, but there was a movie that we did on we talked on this show or on Black Cinema. I can't remember, but I didn't like the way a certain black character talked, and it's like that's accurate to how people talk. And I'm just like, but why do we always have to have characters like that? It kind of drives me crazy, right? There's they got to speak, you either it's got to be all AAVE type of shit, or it's got to be like that guy talks weird because he's read a book before. And I'm like, there are medium grounds here, and it irritates the shit out of me. But that's me having to get over my own shit of some black people do talk like that, and there's nothing technically wrong with it, right? So it's the same thing. Right. It's just as they say, maturing in life is ... And that's just all it is. It's like a film, as a person who watches film and talks about it, you just have to go, I don't like that. But you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be so not even judgmental about it, but I have to be comfortable with things that make me uncomfortable, right? Like that is a part of the entire human experience, right? Um, that being said, look, I'll tell you, and this is not a thing that you and I like. I don't think we share. We definitely do not share the exact same perspective here. Is there's a big part of this movie that is about a father and daughter, right? It's a big part of this movie. Look, this movie made me cry at the end because I have a very different perspective with my daughter, which is like the paternity issues in this movie are very much, they're not exactly the same, are similar to my daughter. My daughter's adopted, right? And so, like, this idea of, sort of this adopted father and like, what does that mean? And, they're shaping their relationship and stuff like that. That rang super loud to me. And it just did. And like the end of that movie, I'm just like, a couple of thug tears. Like I was just like, it worked for me. Like I was just like, you know what, fucking Paul Thomas Anderson. Like obviously you're the lesser of the Paul Andersons, but it does work for me, and that just hit me in a different way than I think it would probably hit the grand percentage of people who see this. Like when they're sort of reunited, and she's so fucking amped from the situation that just happened. Her words to him are like, "Who are you?" It's not that she can't see him, right? Because like on the surface, you may think like, "Oh, she can't." She can see him, but her fucking perspective is so fucked up in the last 20 minutes of that movie that she doesn't know like which way is up, right? And then she in that second she kind of shakes herself out of it, and he kind of shakes her out of it, and she just realizes like, yes, it's my dad, right? You know what I mean? It's like that. I was just like, oh, it's like, okay, you got me. Like that super worked for me, and it was just like it was really, I thought, was beautifully done. Yeah, like she's of these multiple cultures that like adopted and growing up in the nurture versus nature kind of thing. Like there's a lot of aspects of that movie that again I don't think necessarily hit to everybody, and that's okay. But that part of it, I was just like, yeah. I don't know if you meant it, Paul Thomas Anderson, but like, can you imagine him directing this?
I know, right? What the fuck?
Holy shit! Sean Penn would have won in the end. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like that for me was like a big deal, and I can't like decouple that from my experience in the movie. It's just like that wouldn't be fair.
Well,
so yeah, it's just really good. I thought it was good, but it does serve up all of these other issues too, 100%.
Yeah, I think it is intentional. I think Leonardo DiCaprio's character is very much a self-insert, right? Like, he 100%. Like Paul Thomas Anderson has a black wife, and
does he? Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Maya Rudolph is his wife.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
And it's very much a self-insert. So I 100% think that this is, and he seems like the type of guy that's not, a lunatic, right? Like I think his political alignment might be towards what Leonardo DiCaprio's character is. So yeah, man, this is a good movie. It gave me the heebie-jeebies it gave me the ick when I first saw it, given, who I watched it with, and the fact that like, and even my wife, who is pretty surface on most movies, right? Like she just wants to be entertained. Even she was like, damn, like I wish Tiana Taylor's character was able to, see her daughter again. Or I wish she was able to, apologize or something, right? Even she was like, "Ooh, this is kind of weird." Right. But yeah, no, it's a good movie, man. It's a very good movie. Look, it expected to be nominated for movie for best film, man.
100%.
Like, and this year's been pretty stacked for movies. Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not going to tell you not to see it. I think you should.
That would be utterly ridiculous.
I think you should. It's also one of these long movies that doesn't feel long.
No, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, but I was all in the whole time.
Yeah, I was in it, man. I was in it. And So yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good piece of art. Like, cause it made me it ran through all of my emotions.
I got to tell you,
That's what
you are
art does.
100% right. Before going in, that last 20 minutes, that chase scene is that is
It's
that
a-
is filmmaking at its best. At its best. Oh,
I loved it.
are you asleep on the couch? Wake your ass up, son, because like they were just like they pulled your heart out of your chest and was like, check this shit out. And it was just, I don't want to give that away, but god damn, like that's when you go, Paul Thomas Anderson knows how to fucking direct a movie. Like that style of filmmaking where you go, yeah, this nigga know what he doing. Like he does.
Yeah.
Like there's certain directors who you can watch like a Ryan Coogler movie and you're like in real time, you're like, he is nailing this shit. Like he just, you can't help it. You can't help it. And I think it's done in, I want to say, isn't this one done in like the Panavision or something like that? That all the like,
Yeah, it's I forget with it's using VistaVision.
VistaVision. Yeah. Can we go back to this? Can we go back to this? It looks so good because it gives a level of graininess to the film that just it doesn't make it feel like a documentary necessarily, but it makes it just, it's got weight. It's got it, like everything has got a real 70s kind of like fucking pay attention kind of weight to it. And it's like, that feels good. Like that's the type of like, I'm kind of sad I didn't see this in theaters. Because this would have been a really good like theater going experience. But yeah, VistaVision. Let's fucking sprinkle that shit on it. Good movies. I don't need it in VistaVision for Predators Badland 2. Like I don't need that. But for shit like this, for like heavy dramas and stuff like that, it looks and it feels good. It feels like quote unquote real filmmaking, which is an obnoxious thing to say. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Look, just quickly because we were like super long into this. You and I both watched a little bit. I've watched the first 3 episodes of The Beast in Me. This is the Claire Danes, Matthew Rhys drama of sorts, thriller, I guess. Thriller is probably a better term. Thriller series on Netflix. Look, Netflix comes out with a good series every quarter. This is the one. Okay, this is the one to watch. It's only 8 episodes. The premise here is Claire Danes is a writer and she's in the middle of writing her next book. And this guy moves into her neighborhood, like a very exclusive, rich neighborhood in like upstate New York. And Matthew Rhys's character was accused of killing his wife. But they never found her body. And like, he's some sort of like famous guy, like famous business guy. And so they think, oh, he did it. And so now he's like moving out of the city up to upstate New York to kind of get away from people. And she meets him and they have like a bit of a run-in over some like neighborhood shit or whatever. But Matthew Rhys's character is like the most intense asshole you've ever met. And you're like, I think this guy did it. And you're probably right, but you can't prove it. And it's just like this slow reveal as he's kind of dragging her into his world. And I won't give away much more than that. Look, Matthew Rhys is a phenomenal actor. He really is. Claire Danes is a pretty intense actress as well. I think she's very, very good. I haven't seen her since Fleshman's in Trouble, which was excellent in that. Yeah, this little limited series is going places. Don't be surprised if this one gets nominated for some Emmys as well. This is excellent. Really, really good.
Yeah, I saw the first episode and it takes a lot for me to like sit down and watch a TV show. I'm more of a movie person. TV is is an 8-hour commitment as opposed to a movie being at max 3 hours, right?
Right.
But the show, the first episode hooked me, and that's all you got to do, man. One episode. I don't know why people are like, oh, you got to give it more time than that. No, one episode should be able to hook you, and that's what this episode does. I kind of think I see where some things are going, but stuff like this, it's usually they pull the rug out from under you. So I'm ready to fall, right? I'm ready for the rug to be pulled. Claire Danes is doing a fine job. Matthew Rhys is, I mean, he's like you said, he's doing a real good job of just being what a rich person is, right? Like, because you got to have that mentality if you are incredibly wealthy, right?
Right.
You got to have that, you know, fuck you, like I'm a dickhead, you know. And look at all the wealthy people in this country; they're all arrogant dickheads, all
Yeah.
of them. And that's the mentality that you kind of have to have. They're all, but they're at the same time, like you're fascinated by them,
Right.
right? Like generally generally they are interesting people because they're wired differently, right? Because society
Yeah.
they're not
Fuck.
they don't right they're right like they're like fuck society, right? Like
Pretty.
and normal people don't think like that, but not everybody's a billionaire or whatever. So yeah, this seems like it's going to be a very very good series. I might have to revisit this conversation depending on how long it takes me to finish this series.
Yeah, and that first episode, I was like, oh, this nigga's crazy. Like, super fucking insane. Like, all right, got it. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. Like I watched. I'm not finished. I go back time and like just depending and watch more of Homeland that Claire Danes is in, because that's an intense show. Like I can watch that continually for like a few weeks, and I'm like, I got to put the Iraq War on the shelf. Like Jesus Christ, and it has that same level of intensity, which is a lot, right? Like it can just be a shit ton. So yeah, if you're cool with that, yeah, you should totally check it out. I highly recommend. But it ain't for the fucking faint of heart. I can tell you that. It really, really isn't. First up in topics.
Amazon is officially moving forward with a new Stargate TV series. The project hails from Martin Gero, who began his career on the original Stargate TV franchise. Exact plot details for the series are being kept under wraps. The series will be produced by Amazon, MGM Studios, and will air on Prime Video. Stargate is one of those things that just I've never seen.
Not even the original.
And not even the original movie. And given the description that I see, I don't know how this passed me by. Well, I passed this by. I don't even know what it's about. What is it about?
So the general premise, one, the original movie is awesome. Okay, it is like a classic sci-fi movie, and you'll like it because it has to do with Egyptian times. I know how much that coupled with sci-fi, you're like, this is all me, which is all. So basically, the scientists in our times, or not too distant future, build out this thing called Stargate, based on like shit that they find. They're like exploring. They're like Egyptologists or some stupid shit, and they're like, oh, here's the way to like build this thing that they're talking about called a Stargate, and so they build it, and then like, oh shit, it worked, and they walk through the Stargate, and they end up in different time or some shit like that. And it can go to, I think on the TV show, I never got into the Stargate TV show in and of itself, but like they were able to go to like sort of like different universes and all sorts of things. And that's kind of what happens in the original movie, but they kind of Star Trek it, where they're like, every week we're going to a different, kind of different thing. And so like a bunch of scientists and military people, I believe Kurt Russell was in the original, they go through and it's like, oh shit. And then like conflict ensues and like, machine guns versus spears and all this other shit. And then like futuristic space Egyptian weapons and flying pyramids and all sorts of weird shit. No, this is 100% up your alley. The series, like there was like Stargate and then Stargate Atlantis, I think. And there's like a bunch of stuff. People were really into it. I never got into the series, like I said, but the movie was good. The movie was fun. It's like an early 2000s, sort of leaning into the, like this is around probably a number of years before, maybe even late 90s, like leaning into that whole like everyone was super into like The Mummy and all, you know what I mean? It was like all in that kind of like weird era. So yeah, if Amazon wants to do it, that's fine. I was saddened to note that this was not Apple doing it. I was like, oh, if it was Apple, they're gonna throw like $400 million per season at the shit and make it amazing. But Amazon also does like pretty good, adaptation. So yeah, all right, that's cool.
All right.
It'll be called
to
make it zippy, but it is what it is.
I'll check it out. People seem to be very excited for this.
You should watch the original movie. You should watch.
Yeah, I didn't realize this franchise was the movie was 1994.
Oh, okay.
And then there's SG-1 and Atlantis and Universe, and they had web series and an animated series and video games and stuff. Apparently it's a big deal.
Yeah,
apparently it's a big deal.
They super liked.
Now, is this the one with Christopher Judge, or is that Babylon 5?
No, that's Stargate. He's the guy with
Christopher Judge.
He's got like the
gigantic head.
Yeah. He's in Stargate.
Okay,
he's not in the movies. He's in the TV show.
Okay. Old Kratos.
Yeah, they had fucking MacGyver. They had MacGyver in it. Yeah, like it was. I think the one dude from the original movie was in the series too. The nerd with the
Richard Dean Anderson.
Yes, Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver, MacGruber, if you will. Yeah, he was kind of the lead guy.
Claudia Black's in this. Claudia Black she's one of those people like Gina Torres. That's like
she's in all of these.
Low. Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff like this, and
yep.
And okay, all right. Maybe I'll check out the movie.
Yo, they had Stargate. Stargate, SG-1, Atlantis, Universe, Stargate Origins, Stargate Infinity, Stargate The Arc of Truth, and Stargate Continuum. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. that's
a lot of Stargates.
People really like this franchise. Oh, that's right. The original was directed by Roland Emmerich. So, okay. All right.
Well, then it'll be. So I assume it's a bunch of pyramids being destroyed.
Yes, a pyramid does in fact get destroyed. Because of course, right? Like a blue or red light comes down and just blows it up like it was the White House. Yeah, but like he created the series. Like he's part of the people who created the series. So, all right, that's cool, man. Yeah, bring on more Stargate. I'm fine with it. All right, next up.
The Simpsons fans Simpsons fans never have to leave the Springfield timeline again, so long as they have Disney Plus, that is. Disney announced today that Disney Plus subscribers now have 24/7 access to a dedicated channel continuously streaming all 35 seasons of The Simpsons in chronological order. Disney Plus is also home to exclusive episodes, The Simpsons movie, and themed shorts featuring the show's characters tied to Star Wars, Christmas, and more, including the new Fortnite, The Simpsons shorts that preview Fortnite gameplay narrative and map updates.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Look, The Simpsons is a force, and
Sure.
it's wild that a television show has been on so long that it's just got its own channel. And
it feels like this and what is it, SVU or whatever. Shit, all
and all the Law and Orders, right? Is there but there's no single, like, this is 35 years, but is there a single Law and Order that's this long? Or is it just like Law and Order and SVU and, all the Law and Orders together are combined?
Law and Order Special Victims Unit, SVU, is the longest running primetime live action series in U.S. television history. It has been on since 2019. Or excuse me, in 2019, it premiered its 21st season. I apologize. That's a lot. That is fucking way too much. I'm trying to find out how many episodes. They've had 530 episodes. 25 seasons.
Episodes, 25 seasons. Wow, 25 seasons, man. That's a lot. And Christopher Maloney and Ice-T and I forget the lady's name because I don't watch SVU. I've seen it, but I don't watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Much like The Simpsons, I've seen it, but I don't watch it.
I'm sorry. That was what I read to you. That was just Law and Order. That's not even SVU. So yeah, let me see. All right. SVU has 580 episodes with 27 seasons.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't SVU the more popular one?
Yeah, the Maloney one has been on fucking forever. For 27 seasons. Oh, it started in 1999, guys. It started in 1999. That's some solid work, man.
Yeah. Simpsons got about a decade, though, right? Like they started in 89, right?
I believe so.
Part of the Tracy Ullman show.
Yes.
How many of you young people know who Tracy Ullman is?
How many old people? Who the fuck Tracy Ullman? Holy shit. Yeah, so it's eventually SVU will try to rival it after The Simpsons eventually ends. Because there's no end to runs.
I don't think The Simpsons is ever going to end.
It needs to end after this second movie. That's just, let that be the button on this thing and be done.
I forgot that there's a second Simpsons movie coming out.
Yeah, I think most people have. I don't think it's going to do well. I don't think so. Unless they come out and say, this is the end of The Simpsons. Like, we're going to wrap it all up. That's people go, all right, I want to see what happens type of shit. Other than that, no. I think people are going to be like,
yeah, I'd see that. I'd go see it if they came out and said, hey, this is the last new Simpsons thing you're ever going to see. The only reason I'd see it is because it's like, okay, well, here's a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
Look, The Simpsons have been a television staple, man. Like, it's good work if you can get it, I guess.
Hey, man, those people have made a lot of money.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, look, good for them. Good for them. Good for them. I don't give a shit. I don't care that it's airing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in order. Okay, cool. I could just hit next. I don't need it to be streaming. That seems very silly to me. You're streaming it on a streaming. Okay, like,
yeah, I can just pick what episode I want. But.
Yeah, or I can just go.
It's the same argument that that terrestrial radio made when iPods and satellite radio came out, right? Like, you don't want to have to program your own. You don't want to have to do your own programming, right? Just let us do it for you and listen to 10 minutes of ads every 20 minutes.
Like, yeah, it turns out I super want to do it myself. I don't want to. When I find myself in a situation where people are listening to the actual radio, I'm like, are you okay? Do you need help? Turn on Spotify or Apple Music. What the fuck is going on? Or people who don't have the paid versions of those and it gets ads. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, my wife would listen to Pandora. She's on my Apple plan, yo, and I have all the music there. She'll listen to Pandora, the free version. Like, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
And when she calls herself wanting to listen to a podcast, she'll be like, "Oh, is it on Stitcher?" I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Yo, that's wild. All right, enough about The Simpsons because we clearly don't give two shits about it. I regret nothing. My topic, David Fincher's American Squid Game spinoff makes new progress in massive update. Okay, one, I did not know David Fincher was doing American Squid Game. I knew it was coming because I watched Squid Game, so I already knew it at the end of the last season, but I didn't realize Fincher was doing it. I'm excited about this. I'm also deeply terrified that we're going to get one amazing season and then David Fincher's never going to come back and do it anymore. Just one and done. I was talking to Cam about that, and I was like, he should team up with the dude who did Hannibal. Between the two of them, they could each do one season and then leave it alone, which is fine. Um, two amazing seasons and then nothing. Look, I loved Squid Game. I really liked season 2 and 3, which I don't think a lot of people watched. I know you haven't had a chance to watch it. It's as good as the first season, if not more brutal, to be honest, than the first season. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would recommend people check out the final 2 seasons on Netflix. Look, an American Squid Game. This is not a remake. This is like quite literally they show you that they actually show you like, okay, here is like Kate Blanchett's character shows up at the end of season 3, and they show you like Squid Game has gone fucking global, right? Or at least gone to the US. So it's not a remake, so it's not a rehash, it's just a continuation of what's going on. So there may be characters that kind of slide from the Korean version into the American version. I don't know. Should be interesting. Probably not a lot of that crossover. Putting an American spin on this should be fun. I'm interested to see how they handle the sort of the American greed morality tale, because obviously that's what Squid Game was about. Americans are a different breed, and when it comes to money, we have a wild viewpoint on it. So,
man, like you can't do this without having like a Mr. Beast analog, right? And you can't do this without like people being like, from what I can remember from the original Squid Game, there weren't too many people who were like, there were some people who were like into it because they were into it for the money, right?
That's
but everyone else was, but like it felt like a lot of other people were like desperate. I mean, maybe I'm
no, that's true. That's true. There's quite a few people who were desperate.
But like this one, yeah, Americans are different, man. Like you can't just redo it the same thing and just put a bunch of English speaking people in it, right? Like you have to kind of switch it up, and I'm curious to see how they would actually switch it up. And by switch it up, I'm not just talking about the games, right? Although that would be interesting to see what more traditional American school children games can be twisted into, like, you fail, you die type things.
Right.
But you gotta, like, we're a totally different culture. Yeah. And ultimately we all will do whatever we can for money, I guess. But this seems very interesting. Like I feel like I got everything I needed to get out of Squid Game from that first season, which is why I wasn't like running to see the second one.
No, you didn't.
But the only curiosity I have about Squid Game season 2 is why would he go back? But maybe I'll watch it before the American one comes out, since it directly is like a handoff.
Yeah.
And not just a straight remake.
Yeah, like the perils in which they put certain characters in the first one, you're like, okay, that complicates situations. Like, how are you gonna do X, Y, Z? The ones they do in season 2 and 3, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, there are moments where you're like, is Korea okay? Like, dude, don't do that. And whatever you could think of would put people in the most extreme situation of, letting someone die so you can get money or whatever. Whatever the most extreme version of that is, I bet you they've gone a bit more extreme than you think they would. And you're just like, oh, that's super fucked up. And you know what? It is. It's super fucked up. Like, that's not a thing you should put humans in this situation with. And I feel like some of it you might not actually be able to do in America. I'll be honest with you. I don't. There's one major plot especially in the third season. I'm like, I don't think you could do that. Like,
it must be shitting on people with money, because when it comes to violence, like you can't beat us, right?
Yeah,
Like he like
no. It's a it's a vulnerable class that is put into peril in the third one, and it's just like I didn't think they'd do
okay.
that. And the rich people are just
Oh,
like, well, this will make for an interesting game. I'm like, you should all be shot. Like, what the fuck is wrong with any of you?
but I feel like David Fincher would do it.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
might.
like
He might. Like, you know what? Put it in. Yeah, there's a thing that happens, and you're just like, ooh, okay. So, yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see Fincher do it. He's got balls, so that could be fun. Look, here's some breaking news, which I'm pretty happy about, and you will be too. Task renewed for season 2 with on HBO with Mark Ruffalo set to return. So we had speculated that when Task ended. Are there more Philadelphia, Pennsylvania stories with that disgusting blue hue on it? Yeah, there are more stories to tell. So hell yeah, Mark Ruffalo, I love it.
all right.
He's got to adopt some more kids and kill some more meth dealers. Sounds good to me. That is my recollection of that show. All right, what the fuck? Brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Micah, take it away.
A man hospitalized after eating 6.6 pounds of gummies in 3 days. Okay. A 33-year-old truck driver needed emergency treatment after consuming a large quantity of gummies in a relatively short period of time. Nathan Remington, a truck driver, reportedly ordered a 6.6 pound container of jelly beans from Amazon after getting a craving for gummy candies. He proceeded to consume he proceeded to consume the gummies. I'm editing in real time to not give away where this is. He proceeded to consume the gummies in just 3 days and started experiencing serious physical symptoms shortly after. He was taken to the emergency room with severe abdominal pain, sweating, high blood pressure, and a cold sweat. Initially, the medical staff suspected that the man was suffering from food poisoning, which he was. If you're eating all those gummies, what are you doing?
I wonder if there's a problem. There's a fucking problem.
But further tests revealed the unusually high levels of gelatin in his digestive tract. After performing several tests, Remington was diagnosed with acute diverticulitis. He got diverticulitis from eating gummies.
This is how Brock Lesnar got it, by eating a bunch of gummy bears. My gut. Yeah, maybe eat some vegetables. Psycho.
Oh, shit. Diverticulitis is a condition in which small protrusions form in the colon wall, causing infection or inflammation. Where is Nathan Remington from?
All right, well, this is look, it should be the good old US of A, right? This is Squid Game come to America. This is Gelatin Game. But it's probably not the US, though it feels really dumb. It does feel like the US. I'm going Britain.
Yes, he's a UK man. A UK man who ate a bunch of jelly beans, and yeah, man. Look, this is okay. I used to eat those things. Like all the time.
Jelly beans?
Not jelly beans, but like little Welch's jellies that are like
that had the fruit jizz inside.
Yeah, they didn't have the fruit jizz in it, but they looked like little Welch's fruit things, right? Those were called gushers, by the way.
Yeah.
I used to eat those when I was a kid, and then they just shoot off in your mouth as soon as you put them in there. It's not. It's not. I wouldn't recommend it. Pause, as Nick said. But
I used of gushers and ecto cooler. Congratulations. Our parents were poisoning us, but yes, that's fine.
But yeah, I used to eat those things, and I used to eat like packs of them, right? I used to get like a pack of 10, right? And they would come in these little packs.
Yeah, you can buy them
and I would eat all 10, right? Because it's like, Well, those little packs throughout the day, I would eat all 10 because those little packs, there's nothing in them, right? Like, there's nothing in them. And then I started counting calories because I hit like 200. My heaviest was 262 pounds, right?
God damn.
And that was at my heaviest. So I was like, all right, let me start counting calories and just kind of. So I would stop eating Dunkin' Donuts every morning.
That's a pretty good choice.
Because the sandwich was 650 calories, and the culotta was like 1,000 calories. So that was 1,600 calories in the morning.
Yeah,
right?
wait, you had a cafe culotta every day?
Yeah, every 5 days a week. Whenever I went into work, right? So I had a breakfast sandwich and a culotta every day, and that's 1,600 calories off the bat every day. And when I was trying to lose weight, they were like, yeah, you need to have like no more than like 2,200 calories if you want to lose weight. I'm like, well, what the fuck? This is 1,650 right here, right? So you cut that shit out. And then I, throughout the day, I would graze on those little gummies, right? I would eat 10 of them, right? Because they came in packs of 10. Those motherfuckers, those little packs, 70 calories a piece.
That's a lot. How many would you have?
That's a lot. When you eat 10 of them, that's 700 calories.
Whoa. You had 10 packs a day?
Yes, I would eat 10 packs. They're like this big. They're like this big. They're super small, right? So I would eat 10 of them throughout the day. And they're nothing. It's 700 calories of nothing. So I could no nutritional value whatsoever.
You had 20 or 2,150 calories every day between breakfast, in quotes, and a bunch of bullshit. And that's not including your lunch. That's not including
lunch, not including dinner, and not including any other snacks. So yeah, man,
should have been easy to lose weight. Just cut 3 of those things out and you're fucking done.
Right, just stop eating that bullshit, right? So the moral of the story is, don't eat that shit,
or don't be Micah and have 10 of them a day. That's insane. You could have 1. You could have 2. That's not even that bad. 10? Yeah, you're a fucking.
No, you can't even. Don't even eat it. Don't even because there's nothing. It's nothing there.
Well, that's not this guy's problem. This guy was like, "Oh, there's something there. There's 6 pounds."
Yeah, he's like, "There's not something there. I'm gonna make it something." He ate 6 pounds, yo. 6 pounds. Next time you go to the gym, pick up a 5-pound weight, and then it's more than that.
Yeah,
of just sitting in your gut
of gummies.
Gummies, yo. What the fuck?
Yeah. That's always my favorite thing when people are like, I've only lost 5 pounds. Yeah, pick up a weight. How much is that? Well, yeah, this is just fat. Like, just imagine this shit just like on your fucking side. Like, yeah, no, 5 pounds is not nothing. Like, get out of here. That's insane. Speaking of eating things, a woman recently was hospitalized after swallowing 8 live frogs to treat back pain caused by a herniated spine disc.
The fuck?
By the way, Brad told me he was like, yeah, I have like a slightly herniated disc. I found a solution for you, Brad. Eat 8 live frogs. No, it's not even a big deal. They have to be live, by the way. You have to eat 8 of them. If you eat 7, you'll actually feel worse. If you eat 8, you're good. When suffering from back pain and a mental disorder, most people will take some painkillers. Maybe use some ointments or go see a doctor that's not of the witch kind. But an old woman decided, nah, fuck that. She decided the best course of action was to swallow frogs. By the way, not eat them, swallow them. After hearing a rumor that swallowing live frogs could help relieve back pain.
A rumor? I've been practicing law for 30 years. You taking advice from a caddy. What the fuck? Like that's the energy that shit is getting off.
Who told you to swallow frogs? Nobody knows what's going to do. Holy shit. Based on a rumor. Yeah, that's lady, you need a fucking CAT scan. She asked some relatives to catch mid-sized amphibians for her, as her back hurt. She couldn't, bend over, obviously. But didn't tell them what she needed them for. They probably thought she was going to make a frog stew, maybe. She proceeded to swallow five live frogs one day because she didn't want to. You don't want to like you don't want to try to eat all the
Yeah,
gummies in one day. You gotta space shit out.
Yeah, you don't want to get diverticulitis from eating a bunch of live frogs. That'd be
You gotta
ridiculous.
you gotta let it digest and shit, right? So she took 5 live frogs to the dome the first day, and then followed up 3 the next day. It wasn't long before she started experiencing excruciating stomach pain as the frogs were just jumping around, fucking punching the side of her stomach, is what I imagine happened. At first, she felt a slight discomfort in her stomach, but the intensity of the pain increased over the following days. It was only when she could no longer bear it that she confessed to her family that she had swallowed 8 live frogs and not just 7. When she was rushed to a university hospital, doctors conducted tests and ruled out the possibility of a tumor, but discovered an abnormally high number of oxphil cells in her body, a telltale sign of certain diseases such as parasitic infections or blood disorders. Quote, swallowing live frogs damaged the patient's digestive system and allowed parasites to enter her system, a doctor told reporters, adding that the patient had become infected with asparaginum tapeworm, a parasite commonly found in people who eat or come into contact with live frogs and snakes. So there you go. After spending 2 weeks in the hospital, Dum Dum made a full recovery and was discharged, but doctors wanted to use her case as a cautionary tale for not being a fucking idiot about the risks of folk remedies. In addition to swallowing frogs, many people also eat snake gall, raw fish gall, or cover their bodies with frog skin. The doctor said most of them are elderly and rarely discussed their health with their children and grandchildren, only going to the hospital when they get a serious illness. Where did this happen?
You said this person got it from a rumor, and you say folklore. I say ancient Chinese secret. That's what that sounds like.
That's fucking racist. It's accurate, but it's racist. Oh, fuck me, dude. Yeah, this is in the Hangzhou of the Zhejiang province in China. Where they're just swallowing frogs for back pain. All right, man. That's not cool. Don't do that. But
I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't.
Probably.
Do that
you leaning towards probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, probably. It doesn't seem like a good idea to eat frogs. I don't like animals, so I wouldn't be nowhere near them goddamn frogs.
I've had frog. It was cooked, so I recommend that. Trailers this week. There's only one. This is the official, very much a teaser trailer for the live action Moana remake. Look, I'll just say this. This is about as shot-to-shot remake as you get. Like, it looks exactly like the movie, the animated movie, which is fantastic, I would argue. Yeah, it looks great. My daughter is going to fucking love this.
I've never seen Moana. My son has seen it. So, and our kids they like something, they watch it for a while until they don't like it anymore. So I feel like I've got the story through osmosis.
Yeah.
But this is probably going to be a hit. People kind of bag on some of these live action remakes, but they keep making them, so it must be doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that whoever likes Moana likes this.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Moana is a very good story. It's pretty fun. Moana 2, less great, mostly because of the lack of Lin-Manuel Miranda doing the music. So I'm glad that they're doing this one. The Rock is really funny. Yeah, yes, it's great.
Yeah, like you gotta play to the Rock's strengths, and hopefully, the Rock. I won't say he can't carry a tune, but like he kind of needs a wheelbarrow to do it. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
not that good of a singer. Like, I know everybody like is like the signature song is like, what can I say except you're welcome,
yeah,
right? Like I need a little more. And The Rock has such a unique like voice that you can't just swap out, a different singer for The Rock, right? Because
no.
people will be able to tell. So I hope he works on his singing a little bit. But look, I'm not mad at this movie for existing. Feels like it's too soon, but
Wait.
I mean, but it's been 10 years, right? The first Moana came out in 2016.
Yeah.
2016. This is coming out in
Yeah. I mean,
2026. So.
it's weird to be remaking the first one as they're in the midst of the trilogy of movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of wild to me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but all right, like, do your thing, man. Like, I'm not, I can't be particularly mad at it. Seems fine. It looks good. Like as far as it looking like the original movie, it does. It does. The transformation of Maui into like the flying the flying eagle or whatever, that all looks cool. The hook looks dope. Like it all just looks accurate. The little coconut people battle, which is one of the best parts of that like action sequences of the first movie. Yeah, like that's clearly in it. I don't expect them to tread any new water. Like this is just a straight up shot for shot remake, is my guess. I like Moana. I think it's a really good movie. And again, Moana 2 is fine. It's not as good as the first one, but it's fine. So we shall see. Hey, look,
Are they usually what happens with these live action films is they usually add a new song.
probably.
But is Lin Manuel Miranda still kind of on board for some of this music?
I
No,
don't.
I see in Wikipedia it says Mark Mancina is composing this movie. But maybe he'll just rearrange some of the some of the old songs.
Yeah, I mean, this guy he's done the music on some pretty great stuff. So it's not like he's not capable. I just think that the biggest and
Okay,
he did Moana.
he did the original. Yeah, he did the original score and song. So
Okay,
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, all right. So yeah, he was working with Miranda on those. So that's great. I mean, the original movie got like mad fucking nominations for the soundtrack. So all right, look, it works for me. I'm not mad at this. I got a kid. She loves Moana. She thinks it's fucking dope. Her friends all love it. We went to see Moana 2 with like all of her friends from school. They were like fucking hyped for that shit. Yeah, the kids love this shit. And look, I'm not mad at a Polynesian hero who is like, this young girl who doesn't have a love interest, who eventually becomes a fucking demigod, and like she's got the like her thing is like Maui is a demigod as well, and she eventually becomes a demigod in the second movie, and so she kind of gets powers, right? And she's got her little like paddle or whatever that she fucking whips around like a weapon. Yeah, she's like a badass. So I love it. I think it's dope. And the original soundtrack is so good. It's got some really great, powerful music. So,
apparently Lin-Manuel Miranda is a producer. So
there you go. All right.
there you go. Yeah, get the band back together and get some fucking money.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda is struggling. A lot of people don't know this. He's barely making it. So yeah, he needs a new boat. So all right, there you go. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right. And it looks like Lanterns is officially delayed, by the way. So I don't know by how much. Trying to see real quick, but I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be a major delay, but it is a little bit delayed. So, all right. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.